Oh, my Xbox One. I just finished Ducktales season 2, so I want to watch the sneak peek trailer thing that says like what's gonna happen. And even though I've already seen it, and that way also gives me some things I can jump through. But yeah, Ducktales. Woo! So again, 3, 2. Also, can I just
the most dangerous threat we've ever faced. The brother of the traitor Della Duck.
Well, I'm actually kind of happy I didn't see any of these trailers and stuff. Like, here's the thing that I did know. I didn't know Penny was a thing. Other than that, I didn't know much else. And I'll bring up more about this. This is probably my favorite season right now.
Death to the moon!
Here in Duckburg, life is like a hurricane.
Ah.
Adventure! Historical accuracy! Oh! Someone stole my time tub and destroyed time and space!
Well. Look what the cat dragged in. Meow.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Freaking Garfield.
Oh, everyone pat my head.
I'm not looking for a henchman. I'm looking for a family. I'm in.
I've never
That's good. Let it go through like every episode, pretty much.
Most dangerous pinata. Man.
Which is weird because none of them are human. They're all ducks. Most of them.
Tremble at my slightest scowl.
What did you do with Lena?
Can I also sing as well?
No!
But I can destroy Dewey Duck.
Sword suddenly became a knife.
Yes.
Daddy's home. We need to call for help.
Darkwing Duck! Which is why my favorite part of this entire season. Him and Gizmo.
I am the black hole. I am the supernova. Can you slow down, please?
Hi, I'm Gizmo Duck. When there's
Hell
trouble,
yeah.
call me.
These two, I love. Every episode that these two were on stole the damn show for me, and I loved every second of it. Honestly, kind of bummed the second half of the invasion of, which is like the finale, did not have more Darkwing Duck in it. But by God, was I so happy he was in the first half.
What's your name?
Lars is bringing an army to destroy Earth.
We may be a ragtag gang of underdogs, but we'll survive like we always do. Because we're smarter. We're tougher. We are sharper. Follow my lead.
Hell yeah.
We'll win this battle square.
Kids!
I believe the words you're looking for are R3.
Okay, so apparently, cause I brought it up. Okay, so apparently they did check the moon, but they just never found Della. Or the one time that they did check the moon, there was a dust cloud that Della kind of kicked up, and that's when the rocket ship just went like, "Oh well, that's it, whee!" Just left. Like so. But by God, this season was so good. And I love this a lot. Like, down to having Della be a main part of the cast and everything. For majority of it, Donald kind of actually disappears for the longest time. Which, like, so it took me the longest time to figure out that, yes, Donald is a sailor, and then Della is a pilot, like the opposite. It's embarrassing how long it took me. Not that I'm actually rich, but it took me to do that. But also, can I just say right now, Della Duck is Luz Nocera when she becomes a mother. And Penny is freaking Amity. And I mean this in 100%. Like, even down to kind of like, their characters and archetypes are very similar to Luz and Amity. Mind you, like, Della and Penny came before Luz and Amity. But also, like, stuff like Penny, like, not really liking Della at the very beginning. but then like kind of warming up to her, where Penny is, you know, a quote unquote high class kind of warrior of the moon, and now has to deal with this outsider that the leader wants to kind of use for his own nefarious reasons. And let me just make sure my voice is being recorded. I don't want to be recorded. Okay, cool, we're good. And stuff like that. I'm like, holy shit! Like, yeah, like literally, like Penny slowly has to learn to be nicer and all this stuff, even though she's like, it's like very much. If you love losing Amity, you're gonna love Della Duck and Penny. Like Della, like as soon as they blow up the main bad guy at the one point, like Penny slams on the front window. Della's like, oh, Della, look, this is my family. Immediately tries to introduce her family to her new girlfriend. I'm like, oh my god, I love these two. But yeah, also, I'm pretty sure the Wubba, this guy, is in the original DuckTales, because like it's funny watching this. There's like a lot of like little like memories that are like fragments in my mind that I'm just like, oh shit, right. I'm pretty sure Wubba was like, there was a Wubba episode in the originul DuckTales, and you have him pop up. But this entire season is freaking great, down to like us finding out what happened with Della. Also, apparently, Gearloose or Gearloose created technology that runs off of gold. And also, it took Della 10 years of exploring the moon. Not only never finding gold on the moon, which then turns out like, okay, well, hold on. But pretty much it finds out, oh wait, I have gold in my teeth. I could have used the power of this thing 10 years earlier or 4 years earlier. Like, god damn it. Like, there's that. Or, Della, I'm trying to think. Or, like, apparently, like, on the moon, like, in a crescent shape, there is an entire city of moon people there. And their most abundant resource is gold. Which all I'm thinking is, I feel like Della probably should have been able to find the gold at some point, but also on that same note too, like I was thinking like, oh wait, does that mean El Dorado was actually on the moon? And then it turns out no, because Della fought a giant mechanical golem in El Dorado when she was younger. So it's like, no, that's not it. But this season is actually really fun seeing Della interact with her kids as I've been slowly kind of trying to become like, you know, a mom. Also I love like the dream episode kind of also shows that Webby kind of wants to become the next Scrooge. Also I love like, it's funny how this family's superpower is they're like obviously love for each other, but they're insane anger. Because whenever a McDuck or just a duck gets angry, by God, are they not the most badass characters on screen? And they beat the out of everyone. It's kind of amazing. And the action in this is really good. Also, I loved that they stylized Della off of. I'm pretty sure it's like you could probably guess it was Samus, but honestly, I kind of feel like it's more Zero from Mega Man, like the ZX. I think it's Mega Man ZX. I think I can't remember the Zero series. Like that's very much more what I kind of got from this, and I also honestly love this game where like you could pretty much be like a cyborg thing. You could either become a Super Saiyan with Dewey, or ride dragons with thrusters. There's like so many cool things in this game. I'm like, oh my god, I want to play this game. But but then like, god, there's so many like cool storylines and plot lines in this where Lena's seeing Magica in her dreams, and apparently Lena has also Lena, there's a whole episode where Lena gets jealous that Webby has a new friend and almost gets them killed. But also Lena's in the Shadow Realm where she follows Webby everywhere and tries to protect her. I'm like, God, I love this girl.
With Lena.
And also she has most of Magica's magic still inside her, which is great. God. I like they don't show it here, but Goldie takes Louis kind of under her wing to teach him like how to be a con artist after Louis, because it's funny, first season was very much a lot about, like, obviously there was spread out stuff and like it is between here, but I think like the main story was kind of more focused on Dewey learning to be learning to try to find out about their mom and everything. Dewey and Webby maybe. But then this season very much more focuses on Louis. So I wonder if the third season will focus more on Huey. But much focus on Louis, where Louis tries to make his own company, and this leads to like him trying to do all these different schemes, and like him like learning from Goldie, who at one point he tries to say like, "Oh, this is my grandma." She slaps him in the back of the head and goes, "My aunt," which I'm like, technically, yeah, it's true, because if Goldie does get with Scrooge, honestly, it feels kind of a little toxic relationship there, but whatever. If Goldie gets with Scrooge, Dewey is her nephew then, her second whatever nephew. But yeah, I'm like, that's kind of funny. But like that was kind of cute, especially because they protected each other. But God, I love that. Their dream selves are kind of funny. Like he wants to be High School Musical. She wants to be Scrooge. She just wants to be a library. He wants to be Garfield. He wants to be tall. And she's afraid of becoming Magica because that's Lena. Which Lena becomes one of my favorites. And honestly, watching Lena in this, she is perfectly what Gwen Tennyson should have been in Ben 10 Alien Force. 100%, this is what she should have been. Make her like more of a kind of a darker goth character. And I honestly think that's a better transition from what she was in the original Ben 10 series to then, you know, what she becomes to after. Because Alien Force, like, again, you took a Tom girl magic user and you made her into just the girl, and then the responsible girl, and then you completely take away the tomboy stuff, and you even take away her having magic instead of going, no, it's actually energy powers from her non-DNA alien heritage that somehow gets passed down, but not DNA, because we can't have Ben be able to scan it. No, so how you get it, I don't know. Goddamn magic. Even though there's no magic. Because there's no magic. Magic doesn't exist. Until, you know, they technically tried to fix it with Ledger Domain and all this other shit way after the fact in, like, Ultimate Alien Force, I think, or whatever the hell it was. But Alien Force, no, they were straight up saying, like, no, there's Matt, and there's a main reason why I dropped Ben 10 for a longest time until Omniverse. Didn't help that when I tried to come back into Ben 10 at one point, they had the Ultimate Ben 10,000. I'm like, nope! You're literally taking my favorite character and you're shitting all up. No, screw you. I'm leaving. Omniverse fixed a lot of that show. Beside the point, Lena is the perfect version of what Gwen should have been. Especially because when the moon people eventually do invade Earth, soon as Lena goes, hey, starts using magic, I'm like, you all should goddamn run, because you ain't ready for magic. Which I'm very much surprised this small army of the moon people were able to take out. We're able to kind of conquer the Earth. And then they were going to make the Earth the moon of the moon, which is really funny when they say, like, you know, the moon is a planet! Yeah, and so is the city of Townsville is just a town. It's like, no, dumbass. But by God, the breakout episodes, other than the Della episodes, all the Della episodes were super good. Where all the Darkwing Duck and and Gizmo Duck episodes, because there's a lot of them where the action is really good in this show, and so whenever Gizmo Duck's on screen, it's so badass. But then also on the flip side of that too, the one episode of Darkwing Duck I loved a lot, because I knew because obviously in this version of DuckTales there was the Darkwing Duck TV show, which it's not the TV show that, if you grew up with Darkwing Duck, it's not that TV show. It's more of a version like an Adam West style one, but also it's one that doesn't have Goslin, obviously doesn't have Launchpad. Like, that is not what it is. It's literally just Darkwing Duck fighting these guys, which is funny because there's like a whole like Christopher Nolan episode, or like they're rebooting Darkwing Duck, which is this whole thing. And Jim Sterling doesn't get picked for the role, and honestly, like, kind of goes on ropes Launchpad into trying to get him to get the movie, to be in the movie. And while that's going on, this other guy who's also a very big fan of Darkwing Duck, wants to get the autograph, and turns out is who's going to be Darkwing Duck in this new gritty reboot Dark Knight universe movie. But it's funny because they get the spark plug guy dressed up as like Tom Hardy's Bane at one point. I'm like, that's kind of funny. But watching it, but like pretty much these guys, it's like this whole thing happens, like Jim Sterling starts like beating up security guards, doing all this stuff, and I'm like, Jim Sterling would make a really good Nega Duck. And watching this, I'm like, you make a really good Nega Duck. I like Darkwing, but like, what the hell is that? Like, man, I feel like he's kind of going down the evil route here. And then like this other guy who's gonna replace him is like very durable. He keeps coming back every time he gets hit, to the point where like there's a cool badass scene towards the end where Jim Sterling takes over. He's like, I don't film this thing that kills me. And this new guy comes up, and as soon as I heard, I am the terror that flaps in the night, I am Darkwing Duck. And, like, there's a whole other thing, obviously, and he pops up in this scene, and I'm like, oh my god! And like the whole bit where he versus the old Darkwing Duck, and they're fighting and shit. I'm like, oh my god, I love this entire scene. This entire like little scene that's going on. And I'm like, it's so great. And eventually, like, both Darkwings having to save Launchpad from getting killed, and that's then leading to them thinking Jim Sterling died, and Darkwing, and like pretty much like the footage that they filmed gets garbage shot, and like this new actor guy is like, well, and like the thing is like this new actor and Launchpad team up together to fight Jim Sterling, aka the old Darkwing, and all this stuff. And Launchpad goes like, and well, after they find out the footage gets corrupted, so like they couldn't even finish the movie, and Scrooge just scraps it, because also Scrooge is Walt Disney in this universe. Scrooge then Launchpad goes like, like where the news, Darkwing goes, well, I guess there goes my big stardom of me becoming famous, and being the next Darkwing Duck. And like, thing is, he is like someone who wanted to be Darkwing Duck because Darkwing Duck inspired him, and like he learned like he has a very high tension of like pain, and like he'll just keep coming back, just like Darkwing. And Launchpad goes, well, you could just be your own superhero. I mean, like Gizmo Duck does it, and he just goes like, I'm better than Gizmo Duck. He goes, but yeah, I'll be on my own superhero. And he goes, what's your name? And I think, it's Drake Mallard. And I'm like, oh shit! I was wondering, I'm like, how are they gonna pull off bringing Darkwing Duck into this universe? And like, when he said his name was Drake, I believe it is Drake Mallard. When he said his name was Drake Mallard, I'm like, oh shit, this is the origin story. Like, so the old Darkwing Duck is obviously like, whatever, but that's what inspires, quote unquote, the new Darkwing Duck, who's supposed to be the Darkwing Duck that, technically is the old show, whatever. Like, that's what inspires him. Like, oh shit! And this is how Launchpad and Darkwing meet! And then they become friends! I'm like, oh my god, I love this! And how happy I was when the invasion episode. I'm gonna gush about Darkwing Duck, but by God, and I found out there's a figure of him in like some mystery bag things that happened like a long time ago, and all I can think of now is, by God, how cool would it have been if I get it? And like I looked on like eBay to see if I could find like the figure because I want that figure, and like I can't find it. I did find Lena though, which that one's a rare one apparently too. But like, God, I want to get Darkwing Duck. Hell yeah! But I think it's the old Darkwing Duck too. But still, I wanted to figure out Darkwing Duck. Like it's like a little small figure. I think like this big, but still. But yeah, I'm like, God. But yeah, like Darkwing's in. I'm like, God damn it! And then when the first half of the invasion pops up, and they get all these guys together, and Darkwing comes to help Launchpad. And then, like, they all, like, you know, team up. I'm like, great. And then even, like, in this scene where where everyone gets...
Gizmo Duck, when there's trouble, you call me.
When everybody gets together, Darkwing is at the head of the table while Screw's on the other head of the table. Yeah, but still, like, I'm like, that's where Darkwing deserves. And, like, everyone's like, who the hell are you? Like, no one knows, obviously, who he is because, obviously, he's a new superhero now. But I'm like, for how much Gizmo Duck got screen time in this season, I am hoping... so hoping Darkwing is going to get that much in the next season. Because, by God, like, I love Gizmo Duck. Don't get me wrong. Gizmo Duck and Darkwing are my goddamn favorites. Like, I love these two so much. Like, these are, like, yes, they're badasses. I love seeing these two pop up. And, by God, like, I want there to be, like, a Gizmo Duck show, honestly. And I want there to be a Darkwing Duck show. Or, hell, do something kind of like this, but have Gizmo and Darkwing together. Like, along with, like, you know, Drake's adopted daughter, Is it Gabby? Shit, I can't remember her name. No, it's not Webby. But, yeah, you could have that with Launchpad. And, like, you could 100% do that. And it'd be amazing if they did. But... yeah, like, God, I was so happy to see. I'm like, hell yeah, I love this so much. And then also it turns out, I love seeing these two. And also apparently, like, the different cousins, like the lucky cousin, or we find out there's another cousin that they, like, is it a cousin or uncle or whatever that Della and Donald have that, like, wears all red and, like, woodchuck and, like, kind of goes crazy. Stuff like, you could be a scientist. Like, it turns out him, the lucky one, Della, and, Donald pretty much made a quadruplet like Webby, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But God, I'm sorry, I just these guys are so cool. I love it so much. I'm like, God, give me more of this. I want to see more DW. I want to see more Gizmo Duck. I want to see them teamed up together fighting bad guys stuff, especially with the action in this show. Because God, the action's so good. Hell, the horror is really good. Like the whole like scenes where like Magica slowly like crawling up this wall, or like when Magica appears like in Lena's dreams, it's so like kind of really scary bits. Or like you'll have things that are like they push the envelope for a lot of things like gore. Like yeah, like it's fake, but like they'll have like Webby and like their new friend that's like a crow. Like have like horror movie thing on things to look all deformed, like an eye pops out, and you're like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, like it's this season, like they really went off the wall with like a lot of things, and it's kind of great. And like God, and like I just love the classic sci-fi shit with these aliens and all that stuff. And it's funny, too. I find it really funny, honestly. That like they're like, yes, we'll take over the Earth. I'm like, you motherfuckers have laser guns and are like pretty much just dirt people. Like, you don't have much other than gold for everything. Like, and you can't even you haven't even been able to build a rocket ship. You need to steal Della's rocket ship to get off of the moon. What on earth makes you think you can do any of that shit? But apparently they were able to make a giant engine. And also, like, the most Greek mythology thing ever is that when the Greek gods do pop up, and, like, when the Earth gets put out of orbit, like, Storkules fixes it. And I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense. Just, like, pushing on the Earth. I'm like, that makes sense. Also, I do love the bad guy being stuck as like the new moon. I'm like, that's kind of funny. But and also again, the question is like the moon, the goddess of the moon. Like, I thought they were eventually gonna talk about it. Also, they made space look really great. But I thought they were going to talk about, like, okay, yeah, they have a friend who's the goddess of the moon. Shouldn't she be able to stop some of this or know how to do some of this or something? But no, we don't get any of that. I'm like, all right, whatever, I guess. But, God, yeah. And, like, eventually, like, when Della, and like, it's kind of heartbreaking stuff, but, like, when Della eventually does get back to Earth, and then Donald gets sent flying back to the moon. I'm like, oh, Jesus. There's so much about this season that's so freaking good. I wrote like an entire like list of stuff. Let me see. Also, apparently Scrooge and apparently there's a curse for whoever becomes the richest gets followed by Solomon Grundy, which was like, holy shit. Lena's perfect teen Gwen Stanison. Yep. Oh yeah, at one point when the moon people hit Earth, get on Earth, age of 22, Webby's grandma just starts beating the shit out of him. And I'm like, run, alien people, run! She's gonna kill you! They know how to animate fights in this, because by God, she beats the hell out of them. I'm actually gonna talk to the moon goddess about the moon. Nope. The moon goddess and Stork Lees get grounded. Darkwing Duck! Every time Darkwing popped up. Scrooge only charged 10 cents when he like, because at one point, because like I said, like season 1 followed more Dewey. This one more followed Louie, which gets taken under the wing of Goldie. But then also there's different points where, like, at one point he becomes the richest duck in the world when he tricks Glomgold and the bad guys to give them all their money, as well as Scrooge's. So he gets Scrooge's fortune, is rich for a minute, and that's when he gets followed by Solomon Grundy. You have him slowly trying to make money, like different schemes, like going to the past, stealing forgotten treasures or lost treasures. But then that eventually leads Della to be like, have to be mom and be like, no, you have to stop. We have to stop this now. You're doing bad. And I do love, like, a lot of this is, oh, look, it's like, but a lot of it is Stella learning to become a mom, or Della to become a mom, and, like, how to be a mom, which is honestly really cool. And, like, I do say, like, looking at her personality, I think it's definitely something, like, Luz would kind of act like. What does pato mean? Pato. Meaning. English. The duck. Okay. Because something was called El Pato, and I don't remember what the hell it was. But also on that same note, like that, there's like, again, I love this so much because this is a show where you could technically kind of connect different dots to different things. Like, for example, Donald meets his old college bandmates, not on the moon, but his old college bandmates, the Three Caballeros. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, yes! Also, that was a bisexual episode, which I called. But I was like, yes! Like, that was so good. Or you have things like, I'm like, oh my God, I love this so much. I was like, oh my God, it's that. I'm like, yes, I love shit like that, where it's like, you take the actual history of the character, and you're saying like, yeah, this is that same character that was in those shorts or those things. I'm like, that's so cool. And then, but you can also you also do things like during Christmas time, where the Christmas episode, Scrooge is literally hanging out and drinking with the three spirits, which turns out our Scrooge isn't the Scrooge from the stories. I feel like, kind of a cop-out, but whatever. But, you know, there's Scrooge from the stories. I'm like, oh shit! And Scrooge, I'm trying to think here. And, like, they hang out, and also the spirit of the ghost of Christmas Past is voiced by Wander Over Yonder. I'm like, oh shit. And also that was episode really good too, with like where you technically do first meet Della Duck, but as a kid. And I'm pretty sure the voice actor who voiced like Teen Donald is the original voice actor for Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I'm pretty sure it is. I was listening to it, I'm like, I know that voice. And I think back to all the is it Once Upon a Christmas or whatever episodes where one of the boys wished for every day to be Christmas, which apparently there's like a horror story version of that idea where like eventually they do get out of it, and then it turns out like every Christmas it means they skipped an entire year, so like they're far in the future and like everyone they know is dead. It's like really like apparently, but yeah, I'm pretty sure like that was like the original voice actor, but God, yeah, like that was really it, like, and the thing is too, like this show also knows how to set up mysteries really well. Like that Christmas episode, as soon as like Scrooge and the others are going to go to like a Christmas party at some point in time in the past, you see them jostle a minute, and in my head I'm like, that's when Dewey grabbed on, and yeah, that was the case. Or like there's a point where everyone thinks Scrooge might have gold madness, and that he sees like a demon everywhere, and like you see the demon kind of in when he makes a billboard of it. But like certain ones of those I missed, but some of the other ones I kind of figured out, and like it is the kind of thing where like if you rewatch the episode, I'm 100% sure you'll see all those clues again, which is a really good way of setting up like those different mysteries, which I'm like, yes, this is a good way to do that. This is really, really great. I just gotta make sure this is recording. Sorry, I just want to make sure this is all going well. Great. But I'm like, yeah, okay. Like there's different like Gizmo Duck's back and he's sealed up and all this. I'm like, I didn't call it. I'm like, oh shit, that's how that happened. Okay. Like there is so many like good little like, oh, I totally missed that, or like I thought that was connected to something. Like, you know, Huey's like book being suddenly like off to the side, and it's like, where did that like how did that just suddenly disappear? God, it's this show knows how to do its mysteries well. Although I will say there's some things like Della and Launchpad just suddenly crashing, but then they suddenly are in the underground thing that the kids were hiding. I'm like, and you didn't destroy the town that was above all this? Really? All right, fine, whatever. It's over Duck Manor. Oh, I found a dead body. Let's see. Lena has magic as powers. Punted Fooey. Oh yeah, because there was Fooey Duck, the fourth duck in the dream sequence. Lena's afraid to fall asleep for some reason. Happy birthday, Doofus. Oh yeah, and they fixed like Doofus's whole family thing, Doofus Duck's whole family thing, when with a robot son that Beaks made, and the robot son actually like rebalanced everything. I'm like, okay. Commend that bot boy out of consciousness. Blazer Scythe, back flopped in pain. Launchpad is a barbarian riding a rocket defragging. Della's avatar is 0x. Classic Donald moves. Oh yeah, there's also like there's even references to kind of like movements, like when Donald gets on the moon and he's trying to escape at one point. It's not where in here, but I just need to find. I want to see if I can find a Donald one. Donald there somewhere, but when Donald has to escape from the moon with Penny, pretty much, or help with Penny, you see him like do like a dance move where like he kicks his own ass and stuff like that when like this bug is in his clothes, because like that, and like that's a reference to like the Halloween episode, or stuff like his tail being a hand and all this other stuff. Like here, and like one game that I would love to stream to play, because I haven't played it in years, ever since my sister broke the game for the PS2, is PK Out of the Shadows, or Peck Out of the Shadows, which is like set in like I think a British version of Donald Duck's thing, where Donald is a superhero that has all these things. Because I don't know, I always love the cartoon aesthetic, like, you know, talking animals with like the you know rubber, you know, Defiance and all this shit, the Toon Force and all that. And I feel like again, Sly Cooper. I love the Sly Cooper games. Like, and they have that feel and element to it. You could 100% make a DuckTales game like that. I think there might actually be one. But like DuckTales game like that, you could make so many cool stories like that. Like why? And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of games kind of miss nowadays. Maybe the indie ones do it more, but like a lot of more AAA big games, like they lose that to try to make everything feel realistic. It's like, why? Stop it. Make it cartoony again. I want to see cartoony shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like this all was freaking great. I loved this season so much. Also, the Demon Butler, when he sees it looks like the moon's going to win, he's like, well, I'm just going to use my time to prepare your spaces in the afterlife. Good day. And he floats downward. And Agent 22 looks down and goes, he went down. That's not a good sign. Like, that's not a good sign. Pretty much saying that they're all going to hell. And he's probably going to torture them. I'll take that next spasm as Earth. Yes. Okay. Drake Mallard is the new Darkwing Duck, aka the actual Darkwing Duck. Oh yeah, the whole Darkwing Duck thing. Because I want to say, like, I didn't know how they were gonna bring Darkwing Duck into this canon. I thought they were gonna do something along the lines of like the Darkwing Duck from the old universe like transfers over to this universe or something like that, like some multiverse kind of thing. But no, like they actually like built in his own new backstory, and I'm like, oh my god, I love it so much. Also, Gizmo Duck's mom is like this hot, like hot-blooded Latina like officer who immediately knows that he's like Gizmo at one point. A bunch of people immediately know that he's Gizmo Duck, which is kind of funny, where he writes down like an entire list. Which is what? People who know Gizmo Duck. Gyro, Launchpad, Dewey, Huey, Beaks, Scrooge, the mailman, dry cleaner, a barista at Starducks, everyone who lives on his block, Webby. Gizmo Duck gets a goth girlfriend, kinda. Does your suit have a toilet? Yeah. Gizmo Duck opening is so good. I want a Gizmo Duck show. Yes. It's like when he's fighting on the roof and it's raining. It's so great. Scarlet Pimpernel looks like Darkwing. Oh yeah, they'll book that that Agent 22 was reading because she was trying to bond with Launchpad because she doesn't have any friends. And like they bond over Darkwing. I'm like, oh shit. Castle Grayskull looking dream, yeah. And Lena's dream, there's like kind of a magica dark Castle Grayskull look. Goldie protecting her nephew. I love that shit. I love when like the character who seems like not like anyone has that connection. But also another thing that I actually really like is like they go like a Scrooge story that they had where it's set in the Old West and Gyro is, I think it is Gyro. Gyro is there. And he's like, totally not a time traveling scientist from the future. And also, oh my god, even the cooler thing in that too. Which one, like that was cool, having a whole old Western thing and like Gyro going back in time and eventually transforming to the future at the very end. And like, oh my god! And then Scrooge is like, the realization Scrooge is like, holy shit, it was him. But not only on that note, but that we see Gizmo Duck's ancestor, and we see an old-timey cowboy version of Gizmo Duck. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool! I was freaking out like this entire season. It's so good. Like this, like season one is already really great, but season 2 is just beautiful. And like seeing Della come in, which Della losing her leg, which is also kind of dark, but Della, you losing her leg, and like the cool thing is too, like she uses it constantly, like takes her leg off to use it for different things. So like it's not like, oh, she just has a new leg and that's it. Like it is something that like like okay, it is a constant thing that you notice. But also there's no figures of Della Duck. It sucks. Yeah, like Della's leg thing. I'm trying to think where I was going with this. Della's a great character. Darkwing, Gizmo. I want to see more with Darkwing Duck and all this. God, There's so much in this show that I'm like, I want to see more. And I'm kind of excited. I want to make this review so I can go watch start season 3. Because by God, it's so good. Also, it's Halloween themed. It's superheroes, costumes. There you go. But God, these designs are so good. I love this so much. We need more duck shows again. I don't know what it is, but duck characters are like kind of perfect for like doing shit like this. I don't know. Maybe it's because like they're just silly enough, and like you could just do a little bit. I don't know. It's like the idea that they're just silly enough with the designs and like drawing the bills and everything. I don't know. It's just great. I honestly love it, and I honestly wonder if Drake Mallard will become, because he was pretty much like Bruce Wayne. So I wonder if he's going to become rich, or if he's going to stay in Duckburg, or is he going to move to is it? I can't remember, because he has his own city that he protects, or is he going to stay in Duckburg? I feel like by the end he might move to his own city again. St. Canard, I think it was. But yeah, I love this show. It's so damn good. Tell me what you think in comments below. Thanks for watching. Check out videos. I don't link to my face. Go to the website for videos. This was so good. And actually, let me just... Android Boy, Scarlet, Scariest Bunny in the Pet Shop. Oh, yeah, that was a great one. 2001 Space Odyssey reference. When Donald gets shot through a rocket, and he's like, no one can survive that. And he sees, like, stars and shit. Kicking himself when possessed. Tail Hand. I'm better than Gizmo Duck, Darkwing Duck. Hell yeah, you are. Well, I love both of them so much. Darkwing is back, baby. Also, he's carried that suit with him, which makes sense, and thought he's going to be in the movie. Director would be Christopher Nolan. Batman, Pearls. Oh, yeah, I like the trailers for Darkwing Duck, which the trailer was very confusing, even for the gritty reboot of Darkwing. Dude is supposed to drink one vial and drank all of them. Oh, yeah, Beaks became like the Hulk at one point. Literally, this is a sleepover like Webby's. Oh, yeah, they treat Webby like having a sleepover like she's dating with this little girl. I'm like, all right. Or dating like her new friend or whatever. And Lena gets very jealous. I'm like, all right, Lena, I see you. Della and Dewey singing Powerline. Oh yeah, they were singing Stand Out Above the Crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh yeah, see something like that. Like it connects like the Goofy movies now with this. They used Excalibur, I forgot about that. And then the actual Excalibur was in the front yard. Honestly though, I do like what Transformers Prime kind of did with like the Sword and Stone, where like the entire mountain is enchanted at that point. Lit the candles of the cake with her fire of a stove. Oh yeah, Della when she bakes these cakes for her boys. Poor dog covered in slap bracelets. Yeah, definitely losing Amity dynamic 100%. Never mind, I was wrong. It was Glom Gold using Time Watch. Gyro used in the Western episode. Right, yeah, because I was... Oh, yeah, Glom Gold also gets stuck. Like, not stuck. He does a staring contest with a baby for, like, I think it said, like, 12 months, so for a year. Before he realized the watch froze time. He'll spend Scrooge spent was going to spend $2 million on a bounty for 87 cents. That was stolen from his, the bin. Old West Gizmo Duck. Hell yeah, I put that in all caps. Gyro time travel to the past. What the hell? Scrooge putting his treasure on display at the museum, which was honestly a really smart thing to do. How is she a god of the moon and didn't know Della was there? Does she know there are people living in the moon? Oh yeah, about Celine. Yeah, because I'm just like, what the hell? Louis taking a handful of diamonds at one point. Like, no time! Steals diamonds. How did Della explore the moon for 4 years and not find these people? And it turns out there was a barrier over it. Stop firing, Penny. You'll hit Della. You'll hit Della. Penny continued. Penny. So I started blasting. Della wants her SOS to be what people see, but her damn ship is bigger. Yeah, her ship was bigger than the SOS she was trying to build. Also, yeah, like Della was trying to stop the monster, and Penny starts shooting at it, and the leader goes, "Stop, Bella! Stop, Della! You'll hit, or stop, Penny! You'll hit Della!" And Penny just kept firing. I'm like, God, I love these two. The gum provides. Oh yeah, they have this oxygen gum. That's why Della was able to be on the moon and survive, because they have this gum that gives you both water, food, and oxygen. Water, food, and oxygen. like only by chewing. I'm like, this should be a much bigger like discovery. And honestly, it's probably one of Gearloose's like things that he made that actually like isn't evil and could save lives and cure world hunger and everything. But then he made it taste like black licorice, which I thought like the ending was gonna be like Della was gonna be like, I actually like black licorice now, but like nope, she hates it all the way to the end. And apparently, this gum that Gearloose made also doesn't lose its flavor; it actually gets more flavorful as the more you chew. And I'm like, oh my god, that's awful. 22, remembering Christmas future. Oh yeah, and like wanting to date, because you're just like, oh boy. Just noticed they're dressed like the 90s and maybe 80s. Oh yeah, when Della and Donald were in the past, and like you say that how they're dressed, I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's very much like 80s 90s kind of style. I think they were kind of going for. Scrooge is friends with 3 ghosts of Christmas. Cap, Mr. Kris Kringle. Oh yeah, shoot, Mr. Kris Kringle. Drew Louie. Storkules threw Louie like a Mjolnir at one point to fly. If we fix the problem, I can't get paid to fix the problem. Oh yeah, one of Louie's schemes. And like the idea was to use the harpies that were coming, which they even brought the harpies back in the end too. I'm like, holy shit, that's actually really genius. They brought everyone back. But Louie uses like Louie is pretty much a very businessman. Like pretty much the idea of like, if I cure cancer, I can't sell them the cure. I can't sell them, you know, the long extended thing to get them to feel better about cancer. It's like, yeah, like he really is thinking like a businessman. Both caballeros say Donald is the coolest out of the 3. I agree, honestly. Scrooge getting offended by being called old when he is. Yeah, Scrooge is like, what do you mean I'm old? What do you mean old? Also, David Tennant is great. Also, Glomgold actually isn't Scottish. He's actually South African. Well, he's, you know, yeah, South African. And, like, Scrooge wanted to give him, like, the dime to be like, you know, this is your first dime shooting. But Glomgold took out his fence and pretty much stole Scrooge's wallet and money clip, which we never saw that money clip come back. I thought it was going to be a thing, but then it kind of seemed like it wasn't. But, yeah, Glomgold is fake and all this stuff. And Louis used that to steal his company and everything, which is kind of great. Money clip, dimes for ducklings, but maybe pennies for pipsqueaks instead. Freaking Scrooge trying to pinch every penny he can. Flint, Heart, Glomgold. When dude loses his memory at one point. Scroogeopoly, there's tiny people living in their house also. Ducktales, intro dodges arrows. Also, the Darkwing Duck episode, I think, was probably the longest episode because they, like, you could tell when an episode is going to be long or short depending on how long, like, the intro is. If it's a full-length intro, it's going to be a regular-based episode. If it's a slightly shorter one, that probably means the episode's going to be slightly longer, you know, because they need to split time. The Darkwing Duck one immediately was just like, DuckTales, purple lines, that's it, let's get into the show. I'm like, holy shit, okay. Give me more Darkwing, hell yeah. Creepy mascot. That was inside Dewey's dream, and then becoming more creepier. Planet Moon. And then it does end with Fowl, which I can't remember if that was... Yeah, I think they were like supposed to be bad guys of the original DuckTales, and I'm pretty... And like they've been hinted at a while, but I don't think they ever were like a thing. I think they were just kind of hinted at, but now, yeah, they're a thing that's going to be in season 3. But, God, I was going to end this a little bit ago, and I just come... Anyways, this show is awesome. Go check it out if you haven't yet. It's really great, and honestly, this is a really, really good one. And I love this show so much. I want more Gizmo Duck. I want more Darkwing Duck. I want more Scrooge McDuck, because they're all badasses, and I want to find a Darkwing Duck figure. The Darkwing Duck figure for the DuckTales, but yeah. But time to see comments below. Thanks for watching the 2 videos that I've done. Links are on my face. Subscription buttons are there. So check the videos. Hopefully enjoy this, and we will see you later. I also want to get the money bin, and I want to get the figures obviously and stuff like that. But yeah, because that'd be really cool and great.